Hi everyone. You are welcome to Bible Reading Culture Day 24. I am Ophelia Boma. Bible Reading Culture is a platform that encourages Christian brethren to read their Bibles every day, at least a verse, at most a chapter. Now, if you are a Christian brother and you love this content and you think you may benefit from it, kindly like and subscribe. Also share this to your friends, family and loved ones because we will be learning so much on this Bible reading culture. I, as a clinical psychologist, would normally add to it reflections, like psychological reflections, integrating the Bible, like godly principles and psychology together. I would also sometimes share my story time, personal stories that you can relate and connect to. And lastly, testimonies. What God cannot do does not exist. So I will just go deeper into today's reflection. And today's reflection is a psychological reflection that also has a biblical connotation. And that is why I always believe that psychology and the Bible, they're just a thin line. They're almost the same. Okay, what I want us to reflect today is unconditional positive regard. A lot of psychologists or people who have read psychology will go like, oh yes, I think I've heard this before. Unconditional positive regard, normally abbreviated as UPR, is a concept that is developed by Carl Rogers. If you know who Carl Rogers is, he is a humanistic psychologist, okay? As part of his client or person-centered therapy, it refers to the practice of accepting and valuing a person without judgment, conditions or expectations, regardless of their actions, feelings or experiences. The reason why I'm teaching us unconditional regard is because there are principles in the Bible that God wants us as Christian brethren to follow, and I will explain to you shortly. Now, Carl Rogers goes deeper to explain that there are three key aspects of unconditional positive regard. He says, 1, non-judgmental acceptance. He says that for you, as a friend, as a mother, as a father, as a sister, a brother, or a teacher, or a caregiver, or a leader, you need to offer warm support and acceptance no matter what the person expresses. So, as being in a family with a sibling who is very callous or chaotic or troublesome or naughty, we need to be very non-judgmental with them. We have to stop always labeling them or categorizing them or depersonalizing them. It does not help the person. We need to show them love rather than judgment. So Carl Rogers says that for a therapist, because this is normally used in therapy, he says, for I, as a clinical health psychologist, if I have a client, I need to be non-judgmental towards them. It doesn't matter how the person is or what they have been through. All I need to do is to accept them, offer them love, warmth, and support. Number 2, he says that no condition on worth. And he goes further to say that a person is valued not for their achievements, behaviors, or choices, but simply for being who they are. This goes back to us asking the question, have we ever placed a condition of worth on someone's life before? Have we ever felt, oh, these people, they don't deserve it, they are not worth it? It's almost as if they don't have anything attached to their names. But he says, as a therapist, as a child of God, as a pastor, as a leader, as a caregiver, as a father or a mother or a guardian, he says you should not put conditions on the person's worth. We should always value the person no matter their achievement and experiences. Number 3, he says that encourage self-growth. And he goes further to say, when people feel accepted unconditionally, they are more likely to explore their true selves, express emotions honestly, and engage in personal growth. When we genuinely support these people to grow, it doesn't matter how we are tired about them, whether they are addicted to substance, whether they can't navigate in life, they find it difficult to understand who they are or choose what they want. or they're living a very chaotic life of crisis, he says that this is what we should do. We should encourage growth. This will help these people to be honest, to express their emotions, to trust us. With those that these people are dependent on, will trust in us, and also will increase their personal growth. So as a leader of a church, as a leader of an organization or a firm, as a Christian brother or sister, you need not to discourage people. Always encourage them. Always pray for them. Do not think that they are a nuisance in your life. We always need to pray for these people because we don't know why their life is the way it is. And the reason why I am letting us reflect on this today is because it has Bible approaches. And number one reads into what? God's unconditional love for us. This is Romans chapter 5 verses 8 says that, but God demonstrated his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And this reflects the idea that love and acceptance are not based on merit, but are freely given. Just like God has freely given us his love, we should also freely give to other people. That is God's way of saying that I have an unconditional positive regard for you. I loved you while you were yet still sinners, and I died for you. So this emulates the preaching of love, acceptance, and support. Number two, it says what? Accepting others without judgment. It says accept one another, then just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God. And this verse calls for unconditional acceptance, mirroring Roger's idea of unconditional positive regard. And Luke chapter 6 verse 37 says what? Do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Judgment, which equals to what? Free acceptance, allows people to grow and heal, much like in person-centered therapy. So in person-centered therapy, you allow these people to heal, give them the supportive environment. That is why people do better in therapy, because therapists like us, we are trained never to judge people, but to always offer empathy, understanding, always give them the safe space or place to vent and to express their emotions honestly. Number 3 says what? Love is the foundation of healing. 1 Corinthians chapter 18 verses 4 to 7 says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. It means that love in its purest form is unconditional, which aligns with what? Roger's unconditional positive regard. So love is the foundation of healing. If you want people to heal, if we want people to change, if we want people to live the life that is best suited of them, we have to give out love. By giving love, they will receive it and get to love themselves. When people hurt themselves, sometimes it may be out of ignorance, it may be out of hate, it may be out of trauma, you may not know. And so as a leader, as a father, mother, brother, sister, a Christian brethren, caregiver, you need to push forward love for your subordinates to understand that they are loved, and thereby change will follow. I am saying this because we are all being called to love one another. Instead of judging one another, look deeper into yourself. This may be your insecurity that you project towards other people. If you love yourself, you love someone too. If you want happiness, you create happiness for someone too. If you feel encouraged, you encourage others as well. If you seek for healing and growth, this is what you will wish, and this is what you will emulate to other people. In conclusion, it is said what unconditional positive regard is deeply compatible with Christian love and grace. It reflects God's acceptance for us, encourages non-judgmental support, and fosters personal transformation, all of which are core biblical values. So have you seen why I said psychology and Bible or spirituality is just a thin line? Whatever God teaches us, you can find it in psychology. And if you're a Christian and you're reading psychology, you will always find every reason to be deeply rooted in Christ, because Christ's teaching is the principle and the foundation of life. So I want to leave you here and I say, go and reflect on this. This is what we need in today's world. Love before anything else. Always remember, today, am I living an unconditional positive regard for my co-worker who annoys me? Am I emulating an unconditional love for my sibling who is so chaotic? You need to first of all have unconditional positive regard for yourself. It is inside of you. It is just hidden because there are so many things happening all and around you. But God can do it. If we pray to God, He will give us grace and strength and wisdom and understanding to live every day as Carl Rogers taught us, to live every day in unconditional positive regard, which means what? Love, support, acceptance, and encouragement for people to personally grow. Thank you so much. And now let's read our Bible, okay? So today, we are reading from Proverbs chapter 24, verses 1 to 34. Long one, but will be soon done. It says that, be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. True wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding is it established. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too high for a fool, he openeth not his mouth in the gate. He that devises to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain, if thou sayest, behold, we knew it not, do not he that pounded the heart consider it? And he that keepeth thy soul, do not he know it? And shall not he render to every man according his works? My son, eat thou honey, because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul, and thou hast found it. Then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not a resting place. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth. Lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Free not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked. For there shall be no reward to the evil man, the candle of the wicked shall be put out. My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not in them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both? These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. He that saith unto the king, thou art righteous, him shall the people curse. Nations shall abhor him. But to them that rebuke him shall be delight, and a good blessing shall come upon them. Every man shall kiss his lips that giveth a right answer. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause, and deceive not with thy lips. Say not, I will do so to him as he had done to me. I will render to the man according to his works. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was also broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. For shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. Glory be to God. This is the word of the Lord, reading from the King James Version. Thank you so much for your time. I want to remind you again to subscribe and share and like. Bye and have a good day.